Reading this morning is from Psalm 19, verses 1 through 6. Psalm 19, verses 1 through 6. The heavens declare your glory, O God, and the skies display your handiwork. Day after day they tell their story, and night after night they reveal the depth of their understanding. Without speech, without words, without even an audible voice, their cry echoes through all the world, and their message reaches the ends of the earth. For in the heavens the sun has pitched a tent. It comes forth with the grandeur of a wedding procession, with the eagerness of an athlete ready to race. It rises at one end of the sky and travels to the other end, and nothing escapes its warmth. And the words I say before every sermon most weeks also come from Psalm 19 later. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of all of our hearts be pleasing in God's sight. Have you ever looked out on the sky on a bright sunny day, especially from our Colorado Rocky Mountains or another high place? Have you ever done that? And while you're at it, have you ever taken a deep breath of air from that spot? Thinner, perhaps, but also pure and crisp. Crystal clear and blue, the sky just seems as if it goes on indefinitely. That's how the ancients saw it, but we know it doesn't go on forever. We know that the Earth's atmosphere, indeed, the very air we breathe, is remarkably fragile. It's easily damaged and not easily repaired. And the damage has become so serious that it's now hurting us, our children, and the other creatures who share this precious planet with us. In fact, the World Health Organization data shows that almost all of the global population, 99%, breathe air that exceeds WHO guideline limits and contains high levels of pollutants, with low and middle income countries suffering from the highest exposures. The air is important, and how we treat it is important. And Psalm 19 is one of 5 psalms in the Psalter that are categorized as creation hymns. Bach, Beethoven, Handel, and Haydn incorporated its words in now well-known musical compositions. And in his reflections on the Psalms, C.S. Lewis wrote, "I take this to be the greatest poem in the Psalter and one of the greatest lyrics in the world." The opening verses of Psalm 19 invite us to pause and immerse ourselves in the splendor of the skies. This ancient hymn of praise does more than recount the majesty of the heavens and the skies. It invites us to contemplate a divine presence revealed through the natural world, encouraging both awe and contemplation. The opening verse, "The heavens declare your glory, O God, and the skies display your handiwork," echo the words of Isaiah that earth is filled with God's living presence. The heavens aren't just a backdrop to human activity, but a dynamic display of divine artistry. Each expanse of sky is like a canvas on which God's creative power is showcased. Just look at our beautiful sunrises and sunsets. This artistry is a never-ending revelation that unfolds with each of those sunrises and sunsets and every constellation that navigates the night sky. The psalmist highlights the ongoing, unspoken communication of the heavens. As day after day they tell their story, and night after night they reveal the depth of their understanding. The heavens and the skies and the atmosphere, even the air, are messengers of divine wisdom, their silent testimony stretching across time and space. It implies a continuous nonverbal conversation between the heavens and humanity. Because despite their silence, the heavens speak volumes through their sheer presence and order, communicating the divine attributes of beauty, power, and precision. The assertion that the heavens communicate without speech, without words, without even an audible voice emphasizes the uniqueness of this message. Because unlike human speech, the sky's proclamation isn't verbal, but visual. Its messages are absorbed through sight rather than sound, challenging us to perceive and understand through a different medium. This invites us to look beyond our auditory senses and engage with the world in a more contemplative visual manner. It suggests a kind of wonder that's impossible to express in words for those who have eyes to see. As the adage says, a picture is worth 1,000 words. The psalmist further expands on this message's universal reach, saying, their cry echoes through all the world and their message reaches the ends of the earth. The heavens and skies offer this universal witness to God's wonder that's available to all. This global perspective highlights the inclusivity of the divine message, reminding us that God's presence and creative power aren't limited to a specific people or place, but are universally accessible. And then the imagery shifts to the sun, which is described as having its own tent in the heavens, a metaphor calling to mind the ancient practice of setting up tents as temporary shelters and celebrations. God provides a tent for the sun where it can retire to rest during the night, because the psalmist had no idea that the sun illuminates the other side of the earth during their nighttime. And the sun's journey across the sky is depicted as a grand, exciting procession as it comes forth with the grandeur of a wedding procession, with the eagerness of an athlete ready to race. The language vividly brings to mind images of a wedding party's entrance into the chapel, or an Olympic runner's pacing and bouncing on the track prior to their heat. This vivid imagery fills the sun's path with a sense of celebration and purpose, reflecting the vitality of the natural world. And as a created object, the sun points to the Creator. The sun rises at one end of the sky and travels to the other end, and nothing escapes its warmth. Its daily circuit, from rising in the east to setting in the west, serves as a reminder of the ordered and reliable nature of creation. As the sun moves through its course through each day, it's done so since the beginning of time, and it will continue to do so until the end of time. This unrelenting cycle symbolizes not only the faithfulness of God, but the interconnectedness of all life. The sun not only lights our days, but it produces the light and warmth necessary to sustain vegetation, animal life, and human life. Without the sun, the earth itself would be merely a frozen, lifeless rock. And just as the sun's warmth and light are shared indiscriminately, so too is God's care and presence available to all. Reflecting on the season of creation in the context of this psalm encourages us to consider how we interact with the skies, the air, and the atmosphere. In our modern context, where the majesty of the natural world can sometimes be overshadowed by human activity and technology, this psalm calls us back to a sense of wonder and reverence. It invites us to rediscover the beauty of the heavens and the skies, and to let their silent proclamation inspire us. Furthermore, this psalm challenges us to reflect on our role as stewards of the environment. If the heavens declare God's glory and the sun's warmth is given freely to all, then how are we as caretakers of creation responding to this divine gift? Our environmental practices can and should align with the reverence expressed in this psalm, promoting sustainability and respect for the intricate balance of nature. So let us, during this season of creation, open our hearts to the silent symphony of the heavens and the skies, allowing their message to resonate within us. May we be inspired by their beauty to live with greater awareness, gratitude, and responsibility. Let the celestial display be a constant reminder of the divine presence that permeates all of creation, urging us to value and protect the natural world that reflects the glory of God. And in doing so, we join in the eternal hymn of praise that the heavens continually sing, acknowledging the Creator's work and our place within this interconnected tapestry of life. May it be so. Amen and amen.